Hello, I'm Jo Kemenade and I'm talking to John Knorr, CEO and founder of SIS Business Systems and the Uglii Global Business System. John, today we're talking about the EEN and the benefits and opportunities available to EEN members upon joining the Uglii Coalition as a national partner or an affiliate. Can you tell us about some of those arrangements?
Right, Jo. The Enterprise Europe network has been established by the EU Commission as a network to stimulate business development and trading and between businesses throughout Europe and throughout the world. In fact, it's a network that goes well beyond Europe. And at the moment there is about 600 organisations
Right.
that are members, and it's a profoundly powerful and creative initiative. We think it's a very good initiative. We've been invited, a couple of those organisations have asked us if they could become members of the Uglii Coalition at the same time, and we think that's a great idea, and we put that proposal to the EU Commission, and they've agreed with it. So that's the starting point of these engagement organisations that are members of the EEN network.
Right, so the EU Commission thought it was a good idea to approach these members?
Yeah, they think it's a good thing, and it marries nicely with what they're doing. Uglii's got a bit of an advantage in that we've got intellectual property that protects what we're doing, so it gives greater scope for those organisations to be more powerful, I suppose, because they can effectively use for their own purposes our technology and our systems. So
Sure.
yeah, it's a very nice marriage of convenience between the two organisations.
So I believe that you have sent a document to all of the EEN members and included a link to this interview.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give those members that are looking at the interview just a brief overview of Uglii and the Uglii system, and then later on we can talk about the benefits to those particular members?
Okay. Look, the Uglii system is based on quite a large portfolio of patents that cover most of the Earth's surface.
Right.
Some of them include covering Europe. That portfolio of patents gives the Uglii system a profoundly powerful position in terms of the future of search processes, marketplace processes in particular. The Uglii system is a high veracity system, so business can trust what they're reading in the system and offers that are made to them in the system and requests for offers that are made to them in the system. That's particularly important because there's so much fraud online.
Sure.
So the Uglii system is beyond that, it's more powerful than that. So there's a lot of benefits for the EEN members becoming either national partners and affiliates or just affiliates in the Uglii system, because they can bring businesses into the system, and the Uglii billing system will reward them when those businesses spend any money in the Uglii system.
Okay, so it's about revenue for the EEN members.
It's about revenue. Revenue is important. It's also about relevance for those organisations, because being part of the Uglii Coalition gives them a lot more power and relevance globally because of the extensive nature of the Uglii system and because of its powerful position in terms of intellectual property globally.
Right.
I think exciting for EEN members because it can help them build on what they're already doing. We see that our ambitions are the same, to build economies and to build businesses and help businesses compete, not only just locally, which our search processes do very powerfully because they're spatially based, but also it allows them to compete globally because our system very easily facilitates requests for offers being made to every business on the planet.
Right.
That is capable of providing a product or service that another business needs or that a consumer wants.
Sure.
Okay.
So the link with EEN members then is that they have a very like-minded approach to the Uglii system in regard to developing business and growing economies.
Yes, EEN members should find the Uglii system profoundly comforting.
So it's a synergy.
We see that they're on the right track, and they should see that we're on the right track. So there's great synergies between the two organisations.
Right, okay.
We're a bit more commercial than they may be, whereas they are subsidised by the EU, for example. We have never been subsidised by any government anywhere in the world. and we refuse subsidy. So our process is purely commercial, but our ambitions are the same. Our ambitions are to grow economies and make businesses more competitive and more sustainable, and it easier for business to be created in economies, because growth is going to come out of those processes of creating and nurturing business. The EU is on the right track, the EN is on the right track, and Uglii's on the same track.
Right.
So,
Now, tell us a little bit about the difference between being either a national partner and an affiliate, and the revenues that are apportioned to those.
Okay. Look, a national partner is in the position of being able to appoint affiliates below it in the Uglii coalition. Okay, that's its only benefit. They can appoint third parties to work below them.
Sure.
That's important because the EEN organisation that is a national partner may think that it will help its economy by perhaps introducing media organisations or banks or telcos or any other organisation that's got a relationship with a lot of businesses and a lot of consumers below it into the system. Now, the benefit of that, of course, is that that organisation, the EEN national partner organisation, makes money out of that, because our billing system, our global billing system, apportions revenue to them based on the activities of the organisations and business below them.
And that's paid as a commission?
It's paid as a commission every 2 weeks.
Right.
So from a national partner's point of view, there is advantage. They can appoint themselves, and they should appoint themselves also as an affiliate, so they can register businesses.
Uh-huh.
The Uglii model is about having affiliates register businesses, because they're close to those businesses,
right,
and they know those businesses, so
sure,
they can do the best job of getting them registered quickly, and they can also do a good job of helping them if they need some help in the processes of using the Uglii system.
Right, so the affiliate does all the registering, which is, I suppose, the greater amount of work.
Yep.
And I'm assuming then that they get the greater apportionment.
That's right. Yeah, they earn a greater share of the revenue from the system, and that revenue is decided between the national partner and the affiliate. So I don't really want to. Yeah, they negotiate and sort those processes out, and then tell the billing system, and the billing system knows what it's been told, and it apportions revenues accordingly.
So as a national partner, if you've appointed affiliates, then you've got to do very little to receive this revenue stream.
Yes, there's an advantage, but the national partner's getting less of the revenue stream, but it's getting more of the streams, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
So it's benefiting commercially from doing not a lot of work.
Right.
But having introduced active affiliates, then it's going to have good revenues.
Right.
So it's all about activity, and it's all about share of the of revenues in the economy. And we should say that this is not a monopoly that we're offering the EEN members. There will be competition, because we're very keen to bring in postal systems. So their national postal system we will be approaching, okay, and hoping that they'll come on board and be competing with the EEN.
Sure.
And perhaps banks and media and telcos, all important in the process of bringing businesses in. The idea, of course, is that all business in the economy come into the Uglii system because they can all benefit.
Sure.
Okay. Now, the other thing I think we should say is there are free services in the Uglii system that the Uglii system gives to all businesses in the economy, in the global economy.
Right.
And the most important of those is free spatial discovery in the Uglii system.
And that's for any business, big or small?
For every business, big or small. Every place of business of every business. So if it's a bigger business and it has multiple places of business, then each of those places of business get that benefit. Now, the importance of Uglii discovery, or discovery in the Uglii system, is that it is very, very powerful. The system allows the business to include in its discovery settings all of the products and services that it provides from that place of business.
And that's free?
That's free. And it also allows third parties that are brand owning businesses that business supplies or is a reseller for, to come into the system and credential that business with its brand. So it makes that business discoverable by not only the generic products and services that it sells, but also by the brands of products and services that it sells.
So there'd be no reason for businesses to not want to register into the system if they're getting these free services and free spatial discovery.
You're right, Joe. This is profoundly important at a business level, but it's also profoundly important at a government or an economy level. What the Uglii system is doing is making this powerful process of spatial discovery a right for all businesses.
Right.
The situation that we've got at the moment is business get discoverability, say through search engines, but that's really a process for the elite businesses in the world that can afford to pay for that discoverability through search engines. And it really only caters for a small proportion of the businesses in the economy.
And the net savvy businesses.
And the net savvy businesses. So the rest of the businesses miss out. Now what we're doing is making, as the foundation of the Uglii system, this ability to get all of the businesses in the economy, no matter how small and insignificant they may feel that they are, we will provide them with comprehensive discoverability in the Uglii system.
Sure.
That's important for small business. It's also important for specialised business. So if I'm providing a specialised service to the world, then with this system I can be very powerfully found.
Sure.
By anybody that wants to buy the services that I provide.
Right.
So we're really changing that whole search process from being a privileged thing to being a right of all businesses that are legitimate in their economy.
Okay. So we have these businesses registered, they get a certain amount of services for free, which obviously the most important is spatial discovery. Then I'm assuming that there are further services that they can purchase, and that's where your commission string begins.
That's where the money comes in.
Sure.
So look, we're fairly confident that most businesses certainly in the EU will want to buy some of the other services that we've got, because they are both relevant for their business and they're also affordable for their business.
Right.
Okay. So our business model is not about ripping off businesses. It's about making our services affordable, and we do that through automation. Our system is almost 100% automated. So as good as practically it's 100% automated, so that our services can be affordable for all businesses. That being said, we expect very high numbers of businesses to buy services in the system at reasonable prices, and that still leads to great revenues for our partners, our national partners and affiliates.
Okay, so the national partners and affiliates can earn a fairly steady revenue stream. What does it cost them to be a part of this coalition?
Nothing. There's no charges for being a national partner or an affiliate in the system. That's free.
So any EEN member can join as a national partner or an affiliate, and they can earn this revenue stream, and it's not going to cost them anything. Look,
they have the relationships. We're assuming that they have the relationships, and what they're being paid for from our system is for the relationships that they already have. We don't have the relationships. Okay, so we're paying them for the use of their relationships. Effectively, that's what business model is.
Right.
But I think it's very important to understand that the Uglii system has been set up to be what we call a land grab. Now, that's not a term that's used in Europe very much, but in the United States and Australia and other countries that are younger, it's a common term.
Sure.
Okay, that related to the settlement
so
of
much
those.
Space.
Yeah, you've got so much land, and the smart people grabbed as much land as they could. So what we're talking about here is a situation where it's important for these organisations to get as many businesses registered in the Uglii system below them, so that they're going to derive revenues from those businesses below them.
Right.
There's a limited number of businesses in any economy.
Sure.
Okay. Sure, there's potential for growth, and the Uglii helps that, but it's largely a land grab.
So once those businesses have registered under another affiliate, that's revenue
done.
Gone.
Once a business is registered, it's registered. Okay, so that's very important that affiliates and partners, national partners, be proactive about this thing and don't sit on their hands waiting to see what happens.
And if an EEN member was a national partner, they can then appoint their other EEN peers as affiliates, yes?
Yeah, if they want to. Some EEN members may not be comfortable about being national partners, but they may be comfortable about being affiliates.
Right.
The system accommodates them.
Okay.
National partners are appointed by global partners.
Right.
And if they go to the Uglii.com website, they'll find a list of global partners that are capable of appointing them.
Okay, so that's what they should be looking at doing if they read through this document that you've sent them and they've got interest. They need to get onto the Uglii.com website and look for a global partner to nominate
There's
them.
links in the document, so that all they have to do is follow the document right through. It's a big document, but I think that most people find it an interesting document because it's giving the Uglii message about how we see the European economy growing and how we see the global economy growing. So
All right.
it should be an inspiring document for them, we hope.
A bit of light reading, John.
It's a bit of life. Yeah.
All right, well, thank you very much for talking to us today.
Thanks, Jane.
Cheers.
Thank you.